Oh my. Yes, Sir Hairless here. Today we have a new artist to the channel. I do not know her, and I've never heard of this song until it was recommended to me in the comments. It was released in 2016. The song is Perdón by Diana Navarro. She was apparently nominated for a Latin Grammy in 2005 as a Best New Artist. I have received many recommendations for this song on multiple different videos of mine by different artists. Gabriel Enrique, Lara Fabian, and mostly on my video on Hijo de la Luna by Mecano. Amazing song. If you want to check out my reaction to that, you can do so, card up here. These recommendation comments all say the same thing, that Diana is a very expressive singer, which definitely appeals to me. I love music. I have an emotional attachment to it, and when other people do, and it shows, I find it emotional. I do. The title means forgiveness, the forgiveness, and here are the lyrics. It's sung in Spanish, so pause and have a read of them. It's a song about emotional abuse, bad things, and forgiveness. I have no idea what to expect. I'm going in as blindly as I possibly could, so let's get straight into it.
Las veces que me engañaste, por los hijos que no me diste, las promesas que no cumpliste y los besos que no sentiste, el perdón, por haberte callado tanto, las mujeres que mantuviste, por los abrazos manipulados, por los enfados descontrolados, el perdón. El perdón te lo da Dios, pero yo
Oh my, I really like that. It's one of those songs that just, if you've seen some of my other videos before, you'll know the phrase I use. It just gets me. Physically affects my body. There's nothing I can do about it. Weirdly, I was getting shivers and goosebumps in my elbows, which I've never really had before. Maybe there's some crazy science to do with the rhythms or the harmony, who knows? If this is your first time watching my videos, this is where I do a pause and go over and analyze what we've just heard. So if you don't want to hear me talking, go to the timestamp. Right, yeah, it's an emotional one. I felt my body going there. It will be interesting editing this, seeing if my eyes kind of changed color, went a bit red at any certain point. The video as well is perfect for it, for its message. Black and white, just a still close-up of her face. It really reminds me of Sinead O'Connor. The tear as well. We got the tear coming down Diana's face. Very moving, all round very moving. I think a big part of this, at least for me, and why I find it particularly emotional, is because I also find it a bit unsettling. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. If anything, it's a good thing. This is not a comforting song. Let's have a look at the lyrics. Cheating, abuse, emotional, possibly physical. It's supposed to be eye-opening and grab our attention, and it certainly does that. There's so much going on musically. I've only just heard 1 minute and 43 seconds of it. There's another few minutes to go, and every time I listen to this in the future, I'm sure I'll hear more things. But even just from a first listen, my brain, even though I was so engrossed in it, was still going a bit all over the place. Some of the rhythms I was hearing, the harmonies, the artistic choices, I can't go over all of them, so I'll pick out a few of the more interesting ones. We start off sort of harmonically ambiguous. We hear da-dum, da-dum, which is like a 5 to 1. So if this is note number 1, we start off up here, note number 5. And we do then end in the key of note number 1. So this note, B flat, is our key, B flat minor. You don't need to worry about the names too much. With the low B flat on the piano down there. And then in the right hand, we get guitar coming in, played as harmonics. So that's where you don't fully play the string. And then the effect is what we hear, and harmonics resonate. Then the more electric guitar sounds come in with the... I'm doing it very exaggerated, like a whammy bar. And then again, the piano in the right hand. So we've got low piano, guitar, change in style of guitar, right hand piano. So I'm just engaged with the instrumentation. That little motif we hear is interesting because this note in the middle is not in the scale of the home key we're in. That would be... And nor is the third note. Is very different to. I don't want to get too much into the theory, but the point is, harmonically, we are not being told anything. It's keeping us guessing. We know our key, but they're throwing in things that make us doubt ourselves. All the meanwhile, we still have that first motif we were hearing. 5-1, 5-1. Quickly, underneath. That's keeping the rhythms going. And we've got a subtle tss, tss, tss in the background. But what did we have there? Some drum. The piano and the guitar are just handing off to each other. There's no rhythmic stability. If we listen really carefully, there are some notes causing big dissonances, but they're super subtle, super quiet. Then we get some more obvious dissonances. That's strange. The piano here, very clever. The lower part is that line I spoke about before that doesn't quite fit with the scale. So those 3 notes. If we have the chord of our home key, then that part would do this. Creating these dissonant chords. But to add to this, the top part is going... If we play them together and move them into the same octave, on top of that chord, you can just see on the piano, it's scrunchy, it's dissonant, it's a bit unsettling. Perfect for a song like this, which I think is not supposed to be comfortable listening, which is strange to say because I really like it. It kind of captivates us. Diana comes in, the harmony doesn't really change, which again is a bit strange because her melody does, but it's quite limited. You can really hear, even though she's not doing much, how accurate she is vocally. Switching the notes, precise tuning, overall a reserved voice, quite an airy voice, and I often do think the airy voice is a very emotional type of singing. Her melody on the words El Perdón, the title of the song, the most important words of the song. We still have that same chord underlying everything. It refuses to move, even though we have some other notes in there causing dissonance, such as this note, causing a direct clash here. But those 3 notes she has, they're not the same as we'd get from the scale or that we were hearing before. So in all these variations, we hear all of these notes. And the one we'd expect from the scale. Just by looking at this, you don't need to know about music theory to see that this is a bit strange. Almost magical in a way, if we just listen to the music. And that motif in it sounds like a xylophone or something. But with rhythmic notes in between. Adding a bit of rhythmic energy in there.
fallado tanto, las mujeres que mantuviste por los abrazos manipulados.
Yeah, new guitar coming in. I'm not going to keep talking because there's just so much going on. As for Diana's singing, which is probably what most people are interested in, I really like her voice. She's able to so seamlessly switch between her chest voice, her head voice. Typically, chest voice is used for the lower notes, but here she's using it higher when she's singing louder.
Por los abrazos manipulados, por los enfados
More of a blend at the top, actually. Then it into head, back down.
descontrolados, el perdón.
Yeah, the airy, blended voice, it's nice, it's emotional. Now, for the chorus, we'll give it a listen, but the crux of the melody. That jump. That's a minor sixth. Minor sixth is my favorite interval. I've said it in many of my videos. I don't think I need to explain why. We can hear why here. It's just beautiful.
Te lo da Dios.
And then that chromatic inflection down. Such a simple motif, but so much power to it. And her expressive singing here. The shaky vibrato at the start, then the super rapid, again, almost shaky vibrato. Amazing singing, amazing. This is Spanish in style to me as someone who is not Spanish. I don't know much Spanish music, I know some. And to just really add to the tension that's being created by the music. Here, the piano's sticking out to me. Doing this jump. But what note is she singing at the same time? Yeah, really cool stuff in this song, actually. Let's continue.
Creerte que eras mi dueño, manipulando todos mis sueños, enredándome con caricias, engatusándome con mentiras, el perdón. El perdón. Por haberte sentido sucio con el amor que mi amor te daba, despreciándome con silencios, la avaricia tu viva estampa, el perdón, el perdón, te lo da Dios, pero yo
Okay, there's a structural change, and based on the lyrics, I think we're near the end. How long's left? A minute and a half? We'll just do a quick pause here, just a few things I wanted to point out. Overall, harmonically, things are pretty similar to as we heard before, but there are certainly some new cool things in there. From where we continued, just listen out to the parts, the constant playing in the guitar type sound. The beat, very constant, very regimented, equal beats. But the piano part, as simple as it is, just one note at a time, is providing syncopations, a bit of rhythmic interestingness. The bass line played in the left hand of the piano, descending, falling. Falling is usually a sad thing or a negative thing. Unlike rising up, becoming more powerful, a sign of growth. Falling down. Dum, dum, dum. And that guitar type sound, I don't know if it is a guitar or not. It could be on a synthesizer or anything really. Oscillating between a couple of notes and then changing to move with the harmony. It's all really quite eerie. So we have the falling bass line and then... dum, Interesting, a change to the major harmonic change. The bass line is usually the harmonic foundation of everything, so it's a good choice to have the obvious part there. And then back.
Que eras mi dueño, manipulando todos mis sueños, enredándome con caricias.
And we've gone from the oscillating constant guitar part to now it just coming in occasionally for one very, very quick chord.
Todos mis sueños,
just there.
Enredándome con caricias.
And there, did you catch that?
Por haberte sentido sucio con el amor que mi amor te daba, despreciándome con silencio.
Significant change now to the major orchestral. We have the strings coming in. It seems like an epiphany moment or something, doesn't it? Almost like there's hope in some way, power in Diana's voice. Back to the minor. That minor sixth jump up, but now she's prolonged it. It's changed, it's different. Moving back down through the major. Back again, and the vocal control. If there's a vocal technique for this, let me know. You know, I mean, maybe a specific term in Spanish singing. It's almost like a mini yodel, isn't it? I love that there. We have her singing, then the violins come in with their own little counter melody. And then they join in with her singing, with her melody, the same notes, unifying, giving it this extra strength. Yeah, really interesting things in here. One of my recent Spanish songs, if not the most recent one I've done, Hijo de la Luna, Mecano. Also unbelievably interesting, just really unlike anything I've heard, and so is this. Maybe I need to start exploring Spanish music more. Comment down below artists, songs you'd like me to do in the future. All right, let's carry on until the end.
No, tú te has burlado de mí, ay, tú te has burlado. Burlado de mí, pero ha llegado tu fin.
Oh, the ending, the metaphorical death, perhaps an actual death of the heart monitor there. That's quite, well, very hard hitting. It's left me feeling distressed, not in a bad way, but more in an introspective way. It's got me thinking. And it's very clever how the heartbeat monitor it's just a nasty dissonance. She is singing that note, the root note that I spoke about at the start. Here's our chord, and the note of the monitor is. So when played with the chord, You know, really tough clash. It's jarring, it's jarring. Even more so because we had this very unexpected and dramatic choir entry. How dramatic. Staccato into the lower sustain note. Bum, 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 bum. With that chromatic inflection implication. Even more exaggerated because of her lengthy sustained note all the way through at the end. It really reminds me of a song I sung when I was younger as part of the soundtrack of quite a famous game. If you played this game when you were younger, you'll probably recognize it. Here's a clip. Very dramatic is my point. And of course, from the aesthetic side of things, the change to color as we approach the end. Quite ironic, really, as we end with the implication of death. The lyrics at the end, you made fun of me, but your end has come. The wrongdoer that they're singing of, their end has come. Has that now given life to the victim, to her? Is this justice? Is this karma? Such a powerful voice, unbelievable control, chromatic bass line descending underneath it. Dum, 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 dum. Going down as she's moving up. Powerful, powerful stuff. Really interesting. It's left me thinking, wondering, have I interpreted this as it was meant to be interpreted? Do you interpret it completely differently? If you do, let me know in the comments below. I love music like this. It just gets you thinking. It's emotional. It was affecting my body, completely out of my control, giving me goosebumps. I am very excited to listen to this more times. I would love to do that with a hot chocolate in hand. If you'd like to support me, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee linked below. And thank you very much for watching. Would appreciate a like and subscribe. If you'd like to join the community, get access to exclusive content not on YouTube, you can do so by joining the Patreon linked on the screen now. And I will see you next time.